Let's talk about some of the specific things you've found. What is this thing called FRAGO, F-R-A-G-O 242? FRAGO 242. What does that mean?
Well, we saw lots of reports about detainee abuse, both detainee abuse and torture from coalition forces, over 300 reported cases in those files, and over 1,000 cases from the Iraqis. Now, FRAGO 242 is an order, a classified order that we managed to get hold of, which states that there is not to be any intervention if, say, a soldier sees Iraqi policemen torturing someone. There is not to be any intervention, and furthermore, there is to be no investigation without higher command asking for an investigation.
All right, let me make sure I have this straight. FRAGO 242 is an American military order from some American superior to American troops, basically saying if the Iraqis torture or the Iraqis commit crimes, the American troops are A, to look the other way, and B, not to investigate. Is that what you're saying it means?
Yeah, that's absolutely right, Judge, that they are not to investigate and they are not to intervene. And we got hold of a really quite incredible bit of footage with between the then head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff and Donald Rumsfeld, when the chief was asked the question by a reporter, well, do soldiers have to intervene? And the Joint Chief stated, yes, they do have to intervene, and was corrected by Rumsfeld. And that correction is, in fact, reflects this classified order to not intervene.
Does the American government keep records of how many innocent civilians are killed, either by American troops, by Iraqi troops, or by American contractors in Iraq?
Well, the Pentagon said for years that it was keeping no such records, and that is just a lie. And this material each report has a numerical figure associated with it, and that numerical figure is the number of US forces killed or wounded, the number of Iraqi forces killed or wounded, the number of civilians killed or wounded, and the number of enemy which are insurgents or sectarians or so on, killed, wounded, and detained. The total casualty count, when we add up all those figures from each individual report in this material,
right,
is over 285,000 casualties. We can also see 170,000 odd detentions, and about the same level of serious woundings. It is there. They were keeping records.
What is the worst information that you discovered, the most startling, the most eye-opening that you found in these 400,000 pages that you just released to the public?
Well, on the one hand, it's the small events that really get you. So, I mean, a case of a young girl, which is now under the subject of, will be soon under the subject of litigation in the United Kingdom. A young girl, yellow dress, used to receiving presents from US troops. One day she is there expecting to receive a present, and a rifleman pops up out of a tank and blows her away. No reason at all. Another example is a doctor taking a pregnant woman to hospital. He is shot and killed at a checkpoint because he is driving too fast. Several examples of
were these, Julian, were these killings done by U.S. military, Iraqi military, or U.S. contractors?
Yeah, in one case by the case with the girl, I believe, is by British military, and the U.S. reported on the British actions. And the other case I mentioned with the woman and her doctor being shot was by U.S. military. There's many examples of contractors. 10 new cases of killings from Blackwater, never previously been.
Have there been any prosecutions for the killing of innocent civilians, whether it's this doctor or the girl or anybody else, as a result of what you've exposed, or as a result of what the government knew?
There has been no prior prosecution. There is We can see it starts at a law case against the British, approximately 40 cases of wrongful death that have come out of this material. But that's only incidental. These are US reports by the US Army. They do occasionally mention the activities of others that they interact with, in this case the British. But really this needs to have a US response. It is about a US government organisation and its behaviour, and someone has to be accountable for all these deaths.